Hi, everybody. This is Rev. Brenda Merritt-Mata. I'm an ordained healing minister with Universal Life Church and an ancient ways Celtic healer. And I just officially decided to go into wartime status of my beliefs and my ways. And I am going to the United Nations. And I know I have proof from my stories and from my observations as a healer of 40 years here. But I don't have records yet, but I will, because if I have to walk there and get them on the way, I will. I know for a fact that there's necromancy, suspended animation, and zombie-ism being practiced in this country, which is also radiating through the world because of our influence of diet and big pharma around the world. And it became so clear to me in the Walk for the World meditation I did last night when I was starting to birth the power over poison oil that I'm making. I never, ever use a representation of poison in my oils or energy healing or anything because it means death. And I don't believe in death or killing, but I was killing poison. And I thought, okay, killing poison is good because poison kills. And so I became aware that that was ethical for me. During the Walk for the World, it like between then and waking up this morning, it occurred to me all of this stuff because I have always been completely against all three of those in any kind of mythology, any kind of proof, any kind of story, because it really did used to happen. And in the past, they really did use it for justice. It was a way to, there wasn't jails, put it that way. And there's ways you can do it with herbs and stuff back in the old days. I remember doing it or I remember being against it in my past life memories very clearly. Like it's become so clear when I woke up. I'm so glad I have done everything I did to get to this point, because I literally will walk to the United Nations right now. I want you to know, if you have any symptoms or know anybody that has any symptoms of feeling stuck in a loop, like repetitive thought, repetitive behavior, addiction, can you say addiction? So that is on so many levels happening, and I don't even want to get into the details of why, but it's so obvious. And then necromancy is currently, if you look, just Google it, it's not correct in the actual definition. It says bringing something back to life to have sex with it. That's not true. It's not the complete reality. So the complete reality is to kill something and bring it right back to life, which is very possible with herbs. It's very easy, actually. I've done it myself to see if I could do it, because I was trying to not kill my will, but to kill the poison. And if you bring yourself right to the almost point of, like, if overdosing to get sepsis and bring you back, that can flush, it can shock the body. Anyway, long story short, you can do it. It's easy. I didn't, like, my heart didn't stop, but I was, anyway, they do it with cancer treatment, put it that way. I wasn't trying to kill myself. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me be real clear. I am not wanting to die. Never have. So necromancy in the ancient ways was a way of, punishment and utilization. So they would kill the body, so the will and the soul and the spirit was gone, because souls and spirits obviously don't want to live in a body where it's not expanding and expressing and experiencing. So the soul and spirit is gone, and the will's gone, because when there's no soul and spirit, of course, there's no will. And if you think about that, a lot of people are like that today without even having actually died physiologically. So what is that to think about and talk about? Like, what are we doing to our society as a human race that causes that? when in the past you had to kill the body. So that's really something to think about seriously, because what I'm saying right now, happens to people. They lose their will, they lose their soul, they lose their spirit in illusion, like you can't lose your soul and spirit unless the body's dead. Well, actually, that's not true. My soul and spirit left my body when I died the first time before my heart stopped. I remember like I wanted to just be gone. And so I left and then I died. I remember that. So that's not true. I take that back. But it's not common is what I mean. Like it doesn't happen. It's not an everyday occurrence is what I mean. And then, so when the body comes back to life, then it's programmable. It's very easily able to be used for your every desire is what it was. Necromancy was not used for sex. It was used for your every desire. It got misinterpretation over the decades or millennia. And so that was necromancy back in the day. And it was used as a punishment, not as a society's way of life. Like, no, when my beliefs and my way and my people and my tribe that are way before any kind of Christian beliefs or anything, I will be straight up with you. I have memories of my sister screaming and allowing myself to drown, and I'll just put it at that. Have clear memories. And that finally, when that memory resurfaced, I was like, no wonder when I go underwater, I freak out. Like, who wouldn't when you've allowed yourself to drown because you can't stop the screaming from the burning? So, anyway, that was off topic, but it's true. It's been hard getting the screaming out of my head since I remember, to be honest. So generational trauma is like a whole different level for me right now. I've been really processing that. So, yeah. So necromancy is a way of being able to have a body alive and have it be like a real body, like a healthy body, and still be able to control it, and it'll think that it's actually alive and doing its will when it's actually doing your will, because it doesn't have a will. And so it lives its life for your will, not its. And to me, that is like the most horrible thing. Like, how do you take somebody's will and live with yourself? Free will is our God-given right. So I think that this is all coming clear to me so clearly with all these past life memories that have been surfacing, is that I've always been against this stuff. Like when I first, I started remembering this when I was still really asleep this morning, and it just came to me. And so that's necromancy. And then suspended animation is actually even easier in herbs, and you can read about it. It's pretty interesting in the Fey realm. And you'll, I'm certain, understand what I'm referring to when I talk about this in real day life. I'm sure you've probably had it experienced yourself. Let me just give you an example. Without having sugar, without having experience of dairy, without having any of that in the body for, I think of 5 years. So this vegan, I forget the name of the movie. I think it was the Gut movie. I'm pretty sure. I begged my daughter to watch it because it was just mind-blowing to me. It's still mind-blowing to me how a vegan that went plant-based for 5 years was tested, and they showed him, I think it was showed him a series of pictures, like a puppy, the ocean, whatever, and then a vanilla milkshake ad that, they get experts to put ad placement the way they do with all the colors and all the way they do it. It's like, it's mind manipulation and mind mapping, which is also unethical if you think about it. And it's actually something they did in the Holocaust, if you think about it. And so, they did a real-time MRI. It was the most fascinating thing. It shocked the hell out of me, because it's actually what got me to quit eating sugar. And my daughter will tell you, she'll remember, I'll tell you, she will, because I begged her to watch that movie, because she was letting my grandson eat a bunch of candy and have it in the house, so he kept stealing it, and then she was, anyway, enough of that. So anyway, wow, that got me down a rabbit hole. Hold on. My body went into survival mode. Wait a minute, come back. Oh, come on, wake up. Executive brain, where did I go there? Hold on. Oh God, I can't even remember. Okay, come on, think. Let's see. My brain in the past. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So the vegan had his brain all wired up, and wow, that was a trip. Did you see that? So that what happened there? Just so you know, teaching moment about the power of the new human brain. We're the only ones that have this prefrontal cortex. Dr. Joe taught me a lot about it. And then I went on a mission to find out more, because I'm such a nerd. I love it. And now I'm a brain and gut coach, and not just a coach for gut, because I realized, wow, that really connects through the vagus nerve. And then now that connection, now this is even more powerful when I'm talking about all this, because the gut connects to the brain connects to the gut, and it's a loop through the vagus nerve system. And vagus in Latin means wandering, and so it's the longest wandering nerve system. Like it's basically our nerve system outside of like vital nerves, be outside of it, but it's our information highway, put it that way. And it's quite an amazing thing, actually. And I've learned that my acupuncturist and I are working on my communication right here. And I have a bit of a journey there of communication, connection. So that's been fascinating. And anyway, so I'm getting off track, because this is an exploration into the unknown, and it's really exciting. Like, I'm learning a lot along the way just talking about it. Like, of course we do. So, prefrontal cortex, where was I again? Because I did it again, but I did it with you. That was a journey. Okay. And my ears are itching, and I just learned this yesterday. I'm so freaking excited that it's not anything but it's energy releasing from my nervous system. I think that's so cool. So I learned yesterday, just a side note, if your ears are itching or watering, and you're getting tested, and you're doing acupuncture and getting all this stuff to stop, and like sometimes you feel like something's crawling out of your ear, that's energy releasing. So just a quick tip. One of the quick things I learned out of the 70 energy healing videos, I just bought it. I haven't even tapped into it. This is the only thing I've learned. It cleanses energy like in a heartbeat. Me and one of my clients called it the energy sneeze. Because I told her, I said, this is easier. She doesn't like to do what I do, this thing. Now I'm not even good. I'm just going to do the sneeze. Because it's even more powerful. Like it comes from like here and not just from here. So it comes all the way. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Thanks so much, Nick Pelosi. Oh my God, that was such a screaming deal. I couldn't help it. I grabbed that. I got 70 videos of experts in energy healing for $97. Thanks to Nick Pelosi. He always gives such value, and he doesn't spam me. Like, I'm bummed because I'm doing it again. I'm getting into what I wish I could learn, which is good because I'm rewiring and refiring what I want in my prefrontal cortex. So that's actually a good sign if you see the difference. Like I'm thinking and winding and I'm getting off track because I'm creating. See the difference? I'm not going back and reliving. I'm creating forward. And so yeah, so that's really cool. This whole thing is really helping my brain. Thank God. Thank God that I can help other people with it too, you know? I mean, that's what a healer does. God, it's like my whole body's itching. I'm releasing a lot of energy on all levels, like DNA type stuff right now. So, having said that, yep, energy. When you're processing stuff like this and you yawn or sneeze, that's a really good sign, because it means that you're releasing it from your essence. Like it's not itching, or it's like your very essence, your breath, you know, or your brain when you sneeze, which is awesome, because to release energy from the brain that way is outside the blood-brain barrier, so there's a bunch of energy in there, and so that causes inflammation. So all of this stuff, if you see any of that, the clear fluid, the itching like crazy, if you're itching like crazy, it's like a stuck energy releasing, but it will release, because I'm proof. I do want to say though that if you are experiencing that, it's the craziest thing for me anyway. And if you're experiencing that, go ahead and do this experiment, because I did out of desperation and it worked. And it's a placebo effect, Dr. Joe. Check this out. I can trick my body into thinking that I now know is just energy being released. Thank God for that. That I now know that, because I won't take the Benadryl now. I'll just deal with it. But if I tell my body to use the Benadryl for an allergy, I swear to God, like right after I swallow it, I stop itching. And my brain is like, you know, there's no way that worked. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it worked, so I'll go back to sleep now. This is all rewiring the prefrontal cortex, and I'm not lost. I will get back to the suspended animation. I need to make sure. Okay, so I talked about necromancy. I don't know why I keep mispronouncing that. Suspended animation. Oh, okay. So suspended animation. God, that was easy. Yay for prefrontal cortex evolution. Damn. It's a lot easier to get lost in there. It's kind of fun. It's way better than getting lost in the back brain. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a desert. That's a, boy, it's like a house of mirrors. Being in survival in there is a house of mirrors until you cross the river. That was so great last night when I was in the Walk for the World, and I've decided to do it every day now, because that's one of the things I'm going to do for my new religion part of being of service, is I thought, you know what, I can do this every day and really do some change, because the streets behind my condo are beautiful, and they wind around, and I honestly didn't know where I was when I came out of trance last night, and I wasn't far from the turn, but I was like so lost back there. I felt so safe. It was so amazing. And being alone at night in the back streets, like, that's pretty awesome that I have that environment to do this. So every day, every evening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, if you want to join me, the meditation's free, and I will be on live, Facebook Live. I don't know how to set it up to where I do Facebook and YouTube Live, but I'm going to do that every day from now on until further notice. Anyway, yep, that's decided. Okay, so back to, God, that's so easy. When I'm in a different area of the prefrontal cortex, I can go right back to where I was and just remember that I want to go back and work on that other thought more. That is so awesome. God, that's so much better than the back brain. Damn. I love to create. This is fun. So, I'm just going to say this because I'm so stoked about it. When I did the first Walk for the World, And Dr. Joe said, think about it, if there's anything you need to release or something like that. I scanned my brain, scanned my body, I scanned my spirit. I even put my hands up in the air, like, is there anything? And there was a couple things, but it was like current, because I do morning and evening volume 2, just like Dr. Joe says in there, he does every day. But I think if I'm understanding his lectures lately, or the question and answer live, Dr. Joe live, it sounds like he doesn't do it every day now either, but he has learned and trained himself to do it without it, which I have done. And I have noticed that doing metacognition so clearly and so hyper aware of my awareness and everybody else's, because it's helped me be a better healer and it's helped me realize all this. So thank you, Dr. Joe, for morning and evening volume 2. Seriously, that $20 may have just saved our fucking matrix. Now that is value. Oh, I can't get into all that right now, but you'll see. I can't believe, oh my God, we've been trying to figure this out. So I've been involved as an ascended agreement to come down since 84, and like the thing that is so perfect with how I'm saying all this that I was able to do last night when I did the power over poison oil creation labyrinth, whatever, walk for the world combination. I gotta talk all about what I really did, because I added Justin Michael Williams and the energy signature dance during my trance, and then I added Tony Robbins superhero stance and trance, and I added what I thought was super incantations, but apparently they're dragon incantations, because Belinda so lovingly, like she always does, let me know that I was incorrect and corrected me. But I thought, you know what, I like mine better. But I understand the power of what she's doing, and so I'll use that. But I like mine too. I really love how I evolved from that to use it in a positive sense, because what she uses to stop the negative part of a brain, I use to expand and evolve the positive part. So we got the yin and yang of incantations going on up in here. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm getting way off track, because it's amazing that, that first walk for the world, I even put my arms like, is there anything I need to release? And that was the first time I didn't worry about what other people might think if they had their eyes open around me, what other people were doing around me. And Dr. Joe says it so succinctly, get lost in the act. So, somebody just messaged me, hello, Mom, how are you? I wonder who that was. Wow, I don't know the name. That was so cool. Morning blessings. I've never, and they must be connected, that like it was able to come through, so they are friends on my or something, because they would have had to have requested. That was so beautiful. Hello, Mom, how are you? I don't even know who it is. People that I love so much are coming out of the woodwork, and of course, because it's time. So let me get back to this, because it was so beautiful. I have feedback for Dr. Joe. We need an evolved walk for the world for people like me that have crossed the river, because the old one gets boring. I was going over my cooking list when he was asking if there was anything else to let go. I'm addicted to walking meditation and affirmation. That's what that message just said. When she said, hello, Mom, how are you? Her next message was, I am addicted to walking meditations and affirmations. Can we get together? Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, right on. I could use some addiction up in here with that. Oh, God. Okay, I got to finish this, because I got to connect with that woman. I don't know, blessings, more morning blessings, could be anybody. That's amazing. That's awesome. That is perfect. That is so perfect. So anyway, so that was really awe-inspiring for me to know that I had been doing Morning and Evening Volume 2 at the Walk for the World, and I had like surrendered, like, bring it into my body. If there's anything else, I'm open. Like, this is me. I'm here. I want to walk. Like, I was all in. As I always am. Anybody knows me knows that. And it was so amazing to me. I think that I was able to recall from a week ago, I had something, thanks to Dr. Joe's Morning and Evening Volume 2. I was doing it religiously every single day. I don't have to now. I'm sure it would help me evolve even more, but like, I think I'm going to start again because of this beauty right here. Because there wasn't much left in the very first trance, and I was able to release and go deeper and release and go deeper and find more things that I could even release. But it became right away like things I could let go of so I could be of service this way, things I could let go of and be of service this way. So it was already creation in the very first trance at the first Walk for the World on September 23rd of 2023, which is the first day of the cusp of my birthday. And anybody that knows my journey since then knows that I've been recreating my oils, and I have 10 more that are out there. I don't know what they are yet, but they're cosmic balance alignment oil right now, and they'll evolve into something else, those 10. But anyway, so last night, I wish I could have had it recorded. I was divine. Man, Justin and Tony and Belinda and Dr. Joe and Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Mad props. Mad props, peeps. Like, I flowed all you guys in together into a beautiful Celtic dance of just beauty. Beauty, grace, intelligence, love. Like, the very first trance I was creating, and I was flowing my infinity signature dance all around, and like my body became so fluid that even the movement got me more mobile than and I was able to like release pain in my hip, my lower back, and just flow it out and dance it out. And it was so awesome. And from the very trance, the beginning, I was creating. It was so funny. The reason why I need a different walking meditation is because I was going through what I was gonna cook for the homeless or the unhoused people today. When he was asking, what would it feel like to be noble? I said like this. I started laughing because I was like in trance, but not because I was creating. I don't have to say it like I was the not over the veil one way or another. Like, I was the trance. Like, and part of it was so cool because this happened. I still am integrating this evolution because of what I did that's still out there. It's my energy signature with my magic, and I set this shit up good. And so I noticed that my evolution for the future was to walk as it in trance to transmit it over here. So it's like my eyes weren't quite closed, but they were low because I was transmitting I was sending the signal. And I was letting this walk. That's it. It was the most incredible thing. And on top of it, I have more. More to add. South Korean Qigong, Chinese Qigong, and the power of the smile during walking meditation, and counting the dantian, and placing the hand on the dantian and the heart, not just both hands on the heart. All that stuff is like, Dr. Joe, we need a new walking meditation. You have more instruction to give. Oh, God. I was like, in my brain going, okay, I'll go ahead and use that oatmeal because I don't think it's got oxalate. It's not certified. Oh, wait, oh, wait, yeah, I am creating. And he's like, is there anything else you want to let go of? I'm like, yeah, I think I'll use those oatmeal. I was like, my way of letting go was trying to decide if I wanted to throw the oatmeal out or if I wanted to use it for the unhoused people today. It was about then somewhere he said, what would it be like to live in honor? I'm like, right here, right now. Oh, boy. So, since I didn't get lost in a loop behind me, and this is all brand new, and I just get to explore the bliss. Okay, so, God, I still haven't even finished suspended animation because I'm not there anymore. This is all a part of evolving from it because I'm not as it anymore. So now you see all that prefrontal cortex evolution, right? You couldn't help not, because that's all brand new. Like experiencing all that for you in the first time, like I wasn't able to coming back in the past. I noticed that my survival brain, so I went back and was trying to, one of the things that he, I can't remember how Dr. Joe says it, but he says, what do you need to provide a value kind of thing? And one of the things that came up for me is a lot of advanced Dr. Joe students, including my current first experiment of quantum field coach client. She asked to teach one. Each one teach one, humble Linda. Each one teach one, humble Linda Bloom. My first client in the experiment of quantum field coaching is she has to have each one teach one. And it became clear to me how to have her do each one teach one. And I bet Belinda's going to love this because I'm going to have her help me with workshops and not just do coaching herself or teach someone herself. I'm going to have her explain what she learned from experiencing that with me, and then we're going to interview and process it in front of people. And that way she won't get stuck in her loops because this shit's real. So, so this vegan of, I think 5 years, and it was a male. He did an experiment, and they wired his brain, and they showed him a bunch of like innocent pictures, and they put up a vanilla shake, and his brain went straight to the pleasure center, and he hadn't been on dairy or sugar for 5 years. And so what I'm saying then is that they followed him. I think it was a week. He couldn't stop thinking about that vanilla shake. I'm not kidding. That's what I mean. Suspended animation. Like he's not even on sugar and dairy. And so I immediately called my daughter. She'll remember. I paused it and I called my daughter. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because that's private. But I was on high alert. I was like, oh my God, he's been off of it for 5 years. And look, he couldn't stop thinking about it. He said that he was, I forget all the details. I need to go back and watch that. That was a very powerful movie. I need to get a hold of him. Actually, I need to get a hold of him. That's what I'm going to do. Have him tell his story for me. Because it's not enough for me to just see that movie and show the movie. I want his personal experience as documentation. So anyway, that's suspended animation, and there's a whole lot more to it about nerve nests, nerve bundles, and how that happens, and how the brain gets a bundle that's like a scar tissue of nerves because the repetitive thought, and the brain and body think it's so important that it starts to actually create veins around it. First it's capillaries, and then it becomes brain veins that grow around these bundles of nerves of repetitive thought. And then people get treated like addicts. And like, no. If you're finding yourself doing that, the really easy, powerful thing to do is start learning. I still do that. Like, I'm so disciplined. I do not let myself entertain myself with anything other than my handpan music or my soothing Celtic flute and harp music while I'm eating, because I do not do anything but enjoy my music and my food. It's my sacred time, and that is part of my energy. It's part of my very being, is my food time. And so my new quantum field coach client, when she observed my relationship with food and why she was attracted to what I have and was willing to do what she was doing for it, she said that my relationship with food was a speechless experience, but that it was the precious experience she observed of me expressing my soul and spirit through my relationship with my food. And you need to understand that March 21st will be a 1 year since I've been off of animal food, except for an experiment. But I've been off of 3 pounds of candy every 2 days and a family-sized bag of chips 2 days, so disconnected from food that I would eat until I'd pass out with food in my mouth. And my daughter said she was afraid she was going to lose me because I kept going sugar comatose and releasing more energy. Did you see that? Yay! Anyway, that was, it's been a big transformation for her to say that she wanted what I had because she noticed that, and the honor and the valor of the value that I not only give myself, but that I gave another human because of my experience with my food. So what a gift is that? And she was able to stay in her prefrontal cortex, experiencing all that with me. But I had to scream at her, like, numerous times. And it wasn't screaming at her. I was screaming at her brain. I was talking to her brain. It was the most cool experience. It actually worked really good. I took what Belinda does and put it on steroids. I had to, because I had already called the cops to do a wellness check on her. I was worried sick about her. So you can see then that just her stopping her addictive behaviors did that. And she is an advanced Dr. Joe student, and I'm not. So when we've observed her behavior versus mine, I've done the work, she hasn't. Just leave it at that. And she's blown away that I've done what I've done, and we're moving forward with this, and she's listening to me because she wants what I have. And you have to be willing to go to any lengths if you want what you have. If someone else has what you want, then you have to be willing to do what they do, period. Straight up. Every great that I learned from, they have all said that to me in lectures, not to me, but on lectures, they all say it. So I do it. Like, duh, why wouldn't I? It's beyond me. When somebody in an introduction says, yeah, this is what I do every day. Anyway, so then, zombieism. is the practice of killing the body physically. You have to kill the body physically for that, and bringing it back to life right away. You can actually let it live a little bit longer than the necromancy. You can let it die longer. I mean, because you're not wanting it for desire. You're wanting it just as an automaton, and they don't have to have as much of the function left as they do for necromancy. So zombieism is the most torturous way of surviving a death, and it is the most horrible way of treating. I would rather see people going into the gas chamber, quite honestly, than to see zombieism being practiced, and it is the form of the way we live in this society. Now, what I mean by that is you don't have to necessarily kill somebody in the body physiologically now. The only thing I've ever seen in the past is if it was actually killing the body. What I'm noticing, and I'm sure if you look around, you'll see people are dead. Their spirits are gone out of their eyes. I cannot tell you how devastating it was in the past for my, the yoga nidra is today. What time is it? Okay, an hour. Phew. Okay. Okay, so, I forgot all about that. That's perfect. And on a full moon, Wayne, yay. Wow. I gotta go. I just realized I have a very important class for Yoga Nidra from an advanced student that the Marco Island group is holding in an hour, and I need to do my alchemist and breath work to prepare properly. So anyway, zombieism right now, they don't have to kill the body to lose the will, spirit, and soul. Somehow or another, they're allowing that experience to be a collective agreement in the field of environment around us, that collectively people are agreeing to be asleep. Like my son thinks that my giving him educational resources by links of books and stuff, offering to give them to him for free, I'm trying to sell him products. And I'm actually trying to give him information that's science-based for my grandson because he's autistic, Asperger's, and he won't talk to me. He won't respond to me. He took me off of my son's memorial page, like that's the zombieism in my family. And it is represented in movies and stuff. You'll see like limbs falling off and stuff. That's because it's a parable to the zombie is the lowest form of manipulation in the realm of this kind of horrible practicing. And, again, in the past, this was a form of my ways to use people as punishment and to not. There is a belief in some old ways that if something has harmed you, you have the right to harm it back. I don't believe that. And it's the loophole of harm none and do as you will, basically, is that if something or some energy has harmed you, you have the right to use it for your own good and even manipulate it if it's harmed you, as long as you're using it for the good of all. Now, I am using this story as an example because of something I couldn't control, because of something I tried my best to change and I couldn't. And so I talk about it as it's evolving, but I don't manipulate and abuse and torture any being. It doesn't matter what they've done, because agape love overrules all. And I stand for that truth. I always have, and I am a member of Agape International Spiritual Center, and it was so perfect to yell my sacred yes when Dr. Rev Deb was celebrating the 35th anniversary, and I think I had been going about a month and a half. I started going right after I threw away all those meds and realized that one way or another I was going to survive and they weren't going to kill me for malpractice and negligence again. And here I am, and I do need to go because I need to prepare for this sacred service that this beautiful woman is providing our community by.